everybody, and welcome back to another Check It Out Before You Buy It with me, your host, Brad Fitzpatrick, the one you've been waiting on this entire time, and I've been missing you entirely too much. So, this game, Aviary Attorney. I had said in the last Humble Bundle episode that I wanted to try this game. The aesthetics of the game looked really interesting and fun, and graphics are kind of cool, and I love indie games like this, so let's check it out. I wonder if it's going to have voices or if I'm going to have to do voices for you. Let's see. Oh no, Frog has been killed. Is that Monsieur Greenway? Oh mon Dieu. Yeah, okay, don't hate my accents, guys. Dame Catterline, what have you done? Oh, so stereotypical. Act 1, a cat with claws. Oh, he's so cute. It's midday already. Where on earth is that featherhead? Well, look who finally decided to get up. Haven't you heard what they say about the early bird falcon? Too early for worms. Pass the Cabernet Sauvignon. There'll be time for that later. We've got some business to handle first. Business? Bing! A letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet. It's probably more junk mail. Go ahead, Sparrowson. You have the honors. All right. Dear Monsieur Falcon, I am writing you today because my daughter Dame Cataline has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She is being held at La Conciergerie, or something like that, prison on the charge of murder, no less. Her trial is in 3 days' time. I would be greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Yours sincerely, Signor Pertoir Demiaur of Demiaur Estate. Well, this is quite something. I know, your first serious client in months. Not just that, the Demiaur Estate is well known for his exuberant wealth. Even if we cannot do much for Dame Catterline, his lordship would still reward us with handsomely for our efforts. Wow, so I suppose you intend on defending Dame Cataline in court? Of course, why not? Of course, it would be foolish to let such an opportunity slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to find our kitty client at La Conciergerie. Excellent. My derriere was getting tired from all this sitting around anyway. Oh, but I better fly away. Signor Demiaur's letter first. One moment, Falcon. Papa! Pertoir's letter has been added to your evidence folder. You may access the evidence folder at any time by clicking the suitcase symbol. I nearly forgot my wallet. I wouldn't want to lose that. Again, I recall you losing it at the New Year's party. And at Christmas. Yes, all right. No need to make a list. Falcon has picked up his wallet. You may see how much money he is carrying at any time by clicking on the wallet symbol. Let's make a move. Shut. Out. Oh, I get to actually choose. Welcome to the map screen. From here, you can travel to any listed area by clicking on a location, name, or location node. Areas marked with a clock symbol take a whole day to visit. Areas with no symbol can be visited freely. So we're going to go over here. And while we're doing that, of course I'm getting work calling me now. Bump, bump, bump. So I'm going to turn off the sound real quick. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, that's the best way to do it. Yes, all right. Alright, sorry about that. Of course, work always seems to trump anytime I'm trying to do something fun and eventful and, courteous to you guys. But alright, bam, we're going to go here. Falcon and Sparrowson stepped into the stone-cold foyer of the concierge prison. Sullen-faced guards and visitors linger beneath the medieval archways. Ah, the conciergerie. They say this is the finest prison in the whole of France. The outer walls are impenetrable. The cells are spotless. The guards are well-mannered. What do you want? Good day, monsieur. I'm here to see Dame Cataline Demiao. I am due to represent her in court. Oh, you're a lawyer, eh? Fine, follow me. Well, what are you waiting for? Keep up! Slam shut. Scene. Sigh. I cannot do women's voices, so you're going to have to bear with me. My papa hasn't forgotten about me, has he? Dame Cataline Demiao, I presume. You've arrived, the fantastic lawyer Monsieur Falcon and his petite assistant Sparrowson. My lady, that is acknowledgeable. Don't talk like that, Sparrowson. Sorry. My papa told me that he would only hire the best lawyers in town. I'm flattered. But they weren't available at such short notice, so he hired the first people in the address directory. Burn! Come on, guys! Come on! Drink of water. Oh. You see, Falcon, I told you listing Aviary Attorney would pay off. Let's get down to business. Dame Cataline, could you fill us in on some details? Your father's letter was a little brief. I can do my best. What is it you want to know? What happened on the night of the murder? What exactly happened on the night of the murder? Oh, let me think. It was Friday evening. Me and my papa had arrived in Chateau Crinière, the home of the great Baron Roy... Man, these names. Jeez. Roy Grell. My papa spent all evening talking with Monsieur Greenwell and the Baron about business stuff. Business stuff? Well, the three of them own a railway company together. So all through dinner they were talking about company shares and investments, but I didn't really understand most of it. But after dinner, this man with the camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun. Sorry, man with a what? Took your what? Camera. It's a very new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. In 10 minutes, poof, you have a perfect picture. Wow, technology is amazing. I didn't think the lady's explanation is right, Sparrowson. Pshaw, let me believe. Still, the camera sounds like a very special device. I'll make note of it. Camera has been added to your evidence folder. Please, continue, Dame Cataline. So, after we had the photograph, I went into the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Greenway. He was all ripped open. A housemaid saw me standing over the froggy monsieur and called for help, and then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. It was such a blur. It must have been terrifying. It wasn't so bad. My papa taught me how to be a brave cat. Was there something else you wanted to ask, Monsieur Falcon? Who was there that evening? Dame Cataline, who attended the banquet that evening. Well, there was me and my papa. My dearest mom couldn't make it. And there was Baron Ruguel, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid Caroline, I think she was called. Of course there was Monsieur Greenwell. Well, until you know he died. And there was Monsieur Robito di Robinio. Man, these names, are they just... like, jeez! The man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. I think that was all. Was there anything else you wanted to know? See anyone suspicious? Dame Catterlun, did you see anything suspicious that evening? Suspicious? Maybe a guy lurking in the shadows? Or a bloodied murder weapon? Monsieur Falcon, I do believe you are looking for an easy answer. You got me. I did not see anything, I'm afraid. The evening was very normal. The food was delicious. The conversation was boring. It was all very ordinary until the incident. I see. Wait! Falcon, you missed something of huge importance. I did? Dame Caroline said the food was delicious. But you didn't say what food it was. You and your damn stomach. Let me see. We had poached herring to start, garnished with garlic butter. Go on. Then marbled steak, served perfect bloody rare. Glorious! Falcon, write this down. What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case. Write it down, please. For me? Fine. Red herring has been added to your evidence folder. Bloody rare steak has been added to your evidence folder. Sparrowson, remind me not to let you talk to clients on an empty stomach. Come to think of it, I did find a little strange that we weren't given any cutlery. No cutlery? Even for the steak? Nope. You would think that the great Baron of Chateau Crinière would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen. That is a little peculiar. Was there anything else you wanted to know, Monsieur Falcon? No, I think that will be all. So what's the plan, Falcon? The way I see it, we have two tasks. We should head to Chateau Crinière and try to see the scene of the murder for ourselves. And we should try to track down the supposed photographer, Monsieur Ribito di Ribinio. 2 days for 2 tasks? Seems doable, but we should head back and get some rest first. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Wait, Monsieur Falcon, before you go. You do believe my story, don't you? I believe in justice. Dame Caroline, I believe that a fair trial can draw the truth from any situation. I believe in justice. And then, huge American flag behind. Bow, bow, bow. That's good to hear. You're not wrong, Falcon, but that's not what the lady needed to hear. You might want to work on being less of a, how you put it, fil de pute. I don't know, probably asshole in French. If serving justice makes me a fil de pute, then I'll wear that title proudly. Give me just 1 second. Sorry, it's work again, guys. There are some situations going on that I'm trying to deal with. It never fails when you're the boss. Ah, ha 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 ha. So the screen kind of goes black when you're not playing. I'm truly sorry, guys, but it's okay. It doesn't affect much. Ah, Dame Cataline, Monsieur Greenwell, Baron Rugrel, these names are all getting a bit confusing, aren't they? Not particularly. Well, it is for me. I'm going to start compiling a Facebook. Really? So that I can keep track of who everyone is. A what? A Facebook. It's a collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions in an easy-to-carry catalog. I think I understand. The name could use a little work, though. Ba-dum-tsh. Sparrison has started compiling a Facebook. You can access the list of people you have met at any time by clicking the book symbol. Let's make a move. I like how it says that before you move anywhere. You know, it's just kind of, weird. Alright, the game saves automatically at the start of each new day, but you can also make a quick save at any time by selecting Save and Quit from the Pause menu. You can access the Pause menu by clicking on the cog symbol in the upper left corner or by pressing the Escape key. Okay. Boop 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 boop. So, this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock? Kick the fucker in! Oh, sorry. Wait, there's a note on the door. Him, the magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Rubito di Ribinero, is currently out on artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he is a pretentious bird brain. Yes, it does, actually. But in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? We should knock anyway. We should knock anyway. Alright, I don't see the harm. Crickets, crickets. Nope, it doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. We should break in. What? Are you serious? This is exactly what Holmes would do. Maybe. Monsieur J.J. Falcon, I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such a reckless display of unlawful barbaricism. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back. I'm barging the door in. Yes, Sparrow Son. Break that bitch down. Wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? Ha ha! What? Jesus Christ! What in bird Jesus' name was this? He was fried for your sins! Oh my God! You said you wanted to break in! I thought we could find an open window. I didn't think you would turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Well, now we're here. We ought to make most of it. This place is quite something. It's very... swanky? I was going to say ostentatious. That's just swanky talk for swanky. We don't have time for this. The sound of a door being smashed in could be drawing unwanted attention. We should find anything that may help our cause and get out. In investigation mode, you are free to examine the scenery of the room. Click on an item of interest and Falcon will examine it in closer detail. When you have had enough, when you can find nothing else to examine, click on the X in the top right-hand corner. Well then. I see paints, inks, and dyes. I'm not quite sure what the clear liquid in the bottle is. Dude, I need to turn down that music. I don't know what's like. Music volume, we're gonna pull it down just a tight bit. Confirm! Resume. I'm not quite sure what the clear liquid in the bottle is. I could taste test it. You could, but we don't have time for a hospital visit right now, so let's not. Select an area to examine. I want to see something else, because these pictures aren't going to really tell me much anyway, because they're just... let's go in the room. Haha! Hey, Falcon, look! What? It's just an easel. No, look what's on the easel. Ooh. Oh wow, this must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. Sorry guys, another text from work. Actually, it's a text from Kristen, and I'm telling her specifically how to download Steam right now. Okay, there's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Catiline, and I think that's Signor Portoir, Catiline's father. So what shall we do then? Do we just take this? We should leave it. No, that would be a big mistake. Every half-competent lawyer knows that stolen property can't be used as evidence. Still, we've learned some valuable information by seeing this photograph in person. I suppose so. Is there anything else we need to do here? I don't think so. There's just a couple stuff here. This picture is of a fence. It's a fancy photograph. Fancy photograph. It leaves the viewer defenseless. Out of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Sparrowson, you cheeky bird! Okay, I'm done. No more fence puns. This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. That reminds me, how illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling to a person's belongings. A little illegal. Well, it's illegal, yes, but we're trying to solve a murder case, so it's forgivable. Oh, so you're saying that small act of evil is justifiable if it results in a greater good. Don't put words in my beak. A lighthouse? No, wait, it's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways, it's a black smudge falcon. A butterfly, or maybe a moth. It's difficult to tell in black and white. This is a photograph of castle somewhere in the countryside. You know, I once had an uncle who once fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die? No? He got... Sparrowson, I absolutely love you right now. He got demoted. Terrible. A beautiful picture of a Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from the Notre Dame Cathedral itself. This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success perhaps. Looks more like a stepladder to me. Oh no, we're not getting to that old argument. I see a finely dressed dandy fellow upon a horse. I think that's it. Oh, there's one here. I see a bourgeoisie tigress in profile. Yeah, okay, I guess that's it. Oh, one here. A picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. Ah, a chandelier! We should get one of these for the office. I don't have the money for that sort of luxury. Yeah, okay, that's it. No more. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh. Rubino. Oh, mon Dieu, what happened to my door? Tell the truth. Well, Monsieur Rubino, it's like this. You see, we are attorneys who have been hired on the purpose of... Raven! A raven did it! We saw the whole thing! What are you doing, Sparrowson? I've got this. I'm not going to jail because your conscience is acting up. Nobody's going to jail. Just take it easy. Damn ravens. Those after our shiny objects. Am I right? Yeah, that's right. Let's make a move. Trial day is approaching fast. Right, let's go. Alright. New day. Let's head over here. Falcon and Sparrowson into the countryside outside Chateau Criniere. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows. Sautan? Excusez-moi, messieurs. I don't mean to pry, but a little girl and I are sick and starving, see? Gambade? I don't suppose you'd happen to have some spare change? You have 20 francs in your wallet. What will you do? Here you go. Stay safe, madam. Oh, wow. Bless you, messieurs. Bless you. Can I get some info from you guys at least? That was pretty generous of you, Falcon. Times are tough. Making sure a mother and child can make it through the last of winter is the least I can do. But what am I doing, standing here moralizing? Come on, Sparrowson. We've got business to attend to. Falcon and Sparrowson step into the pristine wood-paneled foyer of Chateau Criniere. Whoa, look at this place. Baron Roger must be loaded. Well, I mean, yeah, we already said that. More than loaded. When it comes to lucrative investments, the Baron is a legend. Factories, chocolate shops, hotels, railroads. The Baron owns a little bit of everything this side of the Seine. Is he here right now? Yes. He's a smug-looking chap with the impressive mane. But we must approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse. Hey, Baron! We'd like a word! How's that? Sparrowson, you have the finesse of an inebriated warthog. That sounds fun! You can thank me later. I think I got his attention. Did I hear my name? Great Baron Rogrel, property owner extraordinaire, at your service? And who might you fellows be? More investors? No, we're attorneys. Not quite. I'm a private attorney, J.J. Falcon, and this is my associate, Sparrowson. Lawyers, eh? You know you weren't the first to pass through here today. Oh? Yes, this jumpy, twitchy fellow came by this morning, asked a bunch of questions, and hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious. Do you know who he was, Sparrowson? Perhaps. I have a hunch. Hutch. Ha! Sorry, hunch. We'll be seeing him at the trial. A friend of yours, something like that. So what may I do for you, monsieurs? All of my pumps are down at work right now, so I'm having to deal with that. We are doing some research on Monsieur Greenway, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening. Of course, such a tragedy. He was a good friend and a loyal business partner. I suppose you monsieurs are wanting to see the crime scene for yourself? Actually, yes, that would be fantastic. Well, be my guest. You will find the garden where the murder occurred through the back doors. You may also be interested in the lounge on the second floor, third door to the right. That would be where we gathered for a group photograph prior to the... unfortunate incident. But really dramatic pause there, dude. Oh, can we see the finished photograph? I'm afraid not. It is to my understanding that a photograph must be developed before it can be viewed. It's a slow process. My own copy of the photograph is to be delivered in 3 days' time. That's no good to us. The trial may be over by then. Nevertheless, we shall appreciate your hospitality. Thank you, Baron. It's no trouble at all. I'll be here to see you out when you are done with your investigations. So, shall we go? Where shall we go first? Let's start with the lounge. We'll go up and then we'll go down. Whoa, Miss Giraffe. Second floor, third door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken. Psst. Hey, Falcon, did you see that? See what? That housemaid totally just did something shifty. Shifty? I think she just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it. Excuse me, mademoiselle. Ah, yes? Are you two policemen? No. We're private attorneys. My name's J.J. Falcon. And I'm Sparrowson. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Coline Duhat. So, what can I help you with, messieurs, today? We're investigating the murder that took place last week. Do you mind if we ask you a couple of questions? That's fine. Let me just grab a chair so I can see your face. So it's not a giraffe. It's more of a... I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. That's better. What was it you wanted to ask? Is there something... You were a little nervous when we came in. You thought we were police officers. Is there something we ought to know? Anything you need to confess? No, I suppose I'm just a little nervous after all the drama of last week. Are you sure there isn't anything that you're hiding? It's okay to tell us. We're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with criminal acts. And, right, and, wait, what? No, that's not an accurate job description, Sparrowson. It isn't? Oh, what do we do then? I'll tell you later. Honestly, messieurs, I have nothing to hide. Was there something else you wanted to ask? We are looking for the room where the photograph was taken prior to the incident. Would you happen to know whether this is the right room? Oh, yes, you're in the right place. I saw the photography session for myself. Let's see. The cameraman was standing just about where you're standing, actually, Monsieur Falcon. And where was the camera pointed? Right at the clock above the mantelpiece. The Baron insisted on using that very location. Now that I'm looking at it, something isn't right about that clock. I know, that painting on it totally clashes with the decor. I was thinking along more obvious lines. The clock has no hands. Oh, that clock has never had hands in all the years I've worked here. I think Baron Rugrel just keeps it around as a conversation piece. Well, we're conversating about it, so I guess it's working. It's peculiar detail, though. I'll make note of it. Missing clock hands have been added to your evidence folder. Is there something else you wanted to ask? No, that's all. No further questions. Thank you, mademoiselle. You've been a huge help. It's no problem, messieurs. Actually, there is something. I know you two saw me stealing as you came in. I appreciate that you didn't give me the third degree about it. You see, I'm trying to save up to follow my dreams, and well, never mind, I'm rambling. It's no problem, mademoiselle. To be honest, we have much larger crime to worry about. Although, I should probably ask, I don't suppose you've been stealing anything else? Silverware, perhaps? Ah, you know about that? Yes, I suppose that was me. It started with a couple of teaspoons. I didn't think the Baron would miss those. But, well, yeah, I suppose that habit got a little away from me. That's one mystery solved, at least. Missing silverware has been added to your evidence folder. I would appreciate it if you didn't tell the Baron. He's been really kind. I would hate to break his trust. Then stop stealing! I see. So where to next, Big Bird? Big Bird. Actually, I haven't read the guard yet. We definitely need to do that. Yep, okay. Sorry. Dame Cataline said that she found Monsieur Greenway on the stairs by the fountain, so this must be the very spot where the murder took place. Hey, Falcon, do the crime scene investigation thing. The crime scene investigation thing? Yeah, you know, the thing where you get all eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail. You mean search for evidence? Yeah, do that! That's not a bad suggestion. I wouldn't be the first time the Parisian police have missed something right under their noses. Okay, give me 1 second while I text this back. It is tough being the boss. I'm just glad she's not calling now again. This fountain is very finely crafted. It's solid, carved marble that can't have been cheap. I see nothing but water in the bottom of the lower basin. It's a shame we can't see inside the upper basin from here. That would be a perfect place to quickly stash a murder weapon. Yes, it would, actually. That's actually not a terrible line of reasoning. We ought to wade in to take a closer look, just to be sure. Yeah, I suppose we should. Oh, I apologize. I wasn't being direct enough. I meant to say, Sparrowson, go wade into that fountain and take a closer look inside the upper basin. Me? No way. You want to go waiting? Do it yourself. I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle through a fountain like a duck in a lake. Yeah, well, you don't pay me enough to justify getting my sweet threads wet. Look, there's only one reasonable way to settle this. We'll flip for it. Flip for it? Haha! Yep, I'll flip this 1 franc coin. You call the outcome, get it wrong, and you go for a swim. So what'll it be, heads or tails? Napoleon face or plant squiggles? Tails. Plant squiggles? It's called a wreath, Sparrowson. Sure, I'll bet on the plant squiggles. Here I go. It's heads. Should have gone with the old Emperor Falcon. Ah, fine. Hold my shoes. Falcon really should learn how to spot a rigged coin flip. I almost feel bad for cheating. Almost. Ah, you're back. Had a good swim? No, I'm a bird, not a fish. But I did find a mystery item in the upper basement. It's no murder weapon, though. What is this? It's brown and sticky and it smells weird. Don't tell me that you picked up a very wet cigar butt? Possibly belonging to Baron Rogrel. Correct. But that shouldn't be so surprising. It is his house, after all. I'll stash it in the evidence folder just in case. Cigar butt has been added to your evidence folder. Is there anything else we need to do here? A horse statue. This one has a goofy face. That reminds me of a joke. A horse walks into a bar and the barkeep says, "Why the long face?" Yes, we've all heard that one. What? No. The barkeep says you've got to stop coming here. You're drinking us under the table. I think it's time to rein in the horse jokes. Baron Rogrel certainly likes his horse statues. I don't mind the horse statues, but the little cherub people creep me out. Baby should be waddling, not attempting saddleless horseback riding. A finely crafted horse statue. The mane almost looks lifelike. Would you say it behooves you to stroke it? No, I would not. Another beautifully made horse statue. You know, my uncle once had a horse that refused to eat hay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yep, eventually we realized that it was just filling up on hors d'oeuvres. Terrible. Oh my god, I love Sparrowson so much. Dried blood on the staircase. This must be where Monsieur Greenway died. Do you see any bloody footprints? Oh, or maybe a name scrawled in blood written with the frog's last breath. Wishful thinking. All I'm seeing here is a big sticky puddle. There's nothing to indicate that the body was moved or that the frog left a last-minute clue. All I can make out of this bloody mess is that Monsieur Greenway was attacked and killed on the staircase. Man, I don't think there's anything else here, is there? Nope. I think we're done here. Good call. But are you sure you don't want to take another dip? We still have time. Don't push your luck. Alright, let's go talk to this dude. Did you monsieurs have a good look around? I trust everything was in order. We had a good look. Thank you, Baron. But we actually have some questions for you. Please, ask away. I have nothing to hide. What happened to the night of the murder? Baron Rogrel, I would like to ask you about your activities on the night of the murder. Oh ho! Am I in trouble? Not at all. No, nothing like that. We're just gathering the full picture. I see. Well, let me think. The guests arrived at 5 o'clock and we all sat down for dinner in this very hall at 6. That part went magnificently. The photographer arrived at 7 o'clock, but it wasn't until 7:30 that we had our picture taken. My housemaid discovered the crime scene soon after that. I see. Is there something else I can help you monsieurs with? We'll be leaving. I think that'll be all, Baron. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Have a delightful day, monsieurs. I didn't want to turn in the housemaid. Did you get all the information you needed, Falcon? I hope so. Don't worry. If everything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. This game is playable just for the puns, Sparrowson. Just for the puns. Terrible. Just terrible. Let's head back to the office and get some rest. A new day! Alright, I guess this is where we're going to do the trial. Falcon and Sparrowson stood inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon? A little. Of course I'm nervous. We're woefully unprepared for this case. 2 days. We only had 2 days to prepare. How are we expected to get anything done in the time frame? Calm your feathers, Falcon. We can do this. Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson, is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got the handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was in feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move it along, fellas. Oh, I'll be waiting from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will! Are you ready? Yes, we're ready. Hey, he looks like a pelican. Judge Maxime. Alright, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here? J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Robington present. The ready is prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh, gosh, where are my notes? Ha! I knew it! Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? No. He always scored the second worst marks in class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams in the luck of 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, he might have already had this trial in the bag. That's good to know, but say, Sparrowson, if Rupert scored the second lowest marks in class, who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Ah, here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Hey, Falcon, I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for a case like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, those 2 birds with funny hats are assurers, the associate judges. Everything seems to be in order, so let's begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Caroline de Meow. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to the witness stand. Why couldn't I have questioned him to begin with? Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor, I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Monsieur, Inspector, please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Juste Voltaire. I am a servant of the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague the city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian Killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn on his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you led the investigation of the case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival. Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted, brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Rogrel. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline de Miao. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Greenouille with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case in the humble opinion. No other more questions, Your Honor? Bloodied paws? Nobody told me about that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Bum bum bum. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. I don't know. Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws. Correct! Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. How much blood was there on the lady's paws, Inspector? Enough for it to be clear that she had dirtied her hands on the victim's body. We noticed that blood under the suspect's nails, around her fingertips, and even a little around her mouth. Her mouth? How vile! The inspector's answer seems pretty definitive. Yes. Oh, because they had steak that night. Whose blood was it? Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Greenouille's, of course. How can you be sure? I object. The line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Greenouille. Judge! Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Greenouille? I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood on Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Babington? In the matter of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well... Oh, wait, don't answer the Inspector. It is a possibility. No! Intriguing. Pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. So, Inspector Volatil, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now hold on just a minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeoisie kitten. She was no doubt brought up with flaws, etiquette, and perfect table manners. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly given blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that's a good question. Or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happened, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Missing coloring. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention that in the police report. We weren't aware of that missing from Rogrel residence when we performed the initial investigation. But as it happened, Baron Rogrel approached us about this very subject last night. Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! You gained a little favor with the jury. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Then it is amazing that the Paris police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Fine, so be it. Monsieurs, until next time. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Rabito Rabinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur Rabito Rabino, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliche, but it's perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself to the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Rabito Rabino, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste, t'es une pipe. You may have seen my works in the hit magazines Le Branche or C'est Choté. I don't know how to say that. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon. It's the 19th century. Get with the times already. Yes, your works are very, impressive. Monsieur Rubino, but let's get down to business. Can you tell us your activities on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Rogwell to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7 in the evening. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Then I built Baron Rogwell and left. Like a true artist. And, with regards to the photograph itself, who did your photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. My word. Haha, I already see what's wrong with it now. My word, this is an exquisite picture, isn't it? So let's see. Who do we have here? In the middle we see Baron Rogwell the Lion, who hosted the event. On the left we see Senor Purator de Meow, the father of the defendant, Dame Cataline. And finally we see the housemaid, Coraline Duhot, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Greenway. The second is the defendant, Dame Cataline de Meow. Quite suspicious, wouldn't you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Rabington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not in the photograph with the others? That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at any point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. I am really sorry, guys. The prosecution may continue. Behind the photograph subject, you see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. Now, why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Velarde told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect had an alibi at the time of murder, save for Dame Cataline herself. Falcon, something is fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Cataline told us that she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in Rubino's photograph. That's true, but I can't use Dame Cataline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove that Monsieur Rubino's photograph is not a valid piece of evidence, I will have to dish out evidence of my own. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed. It's a waste of time, if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Bum, bum, bum. Select a question. Monsieur Rubino, you say they arrived at 7 o'clock. Give or take a couple of minutes, yes. How do you know? How do you know that you arrived at 7? Well, the clock in my house read 6:45 when I left, and the walk to Chateau Crinier was around 15 minutes. I don't claim to be flawless timekeeper, but I'm professional. I always stick to an appointment. Do you have any question about Rubino's time of arrival? Yes. Oh, well, it won't let me... Okay. How long did it take to set up your camera? It took perhaps 25 minutes to find a shooting location, put together the camera, and ready to film. So you arrived at 7 and took the photograph at 7:30, and you spent 25 minutes setting up. That leaves 5 minutes unaccounted for. Falcon, you surely aren't saying that Monsieur Rubino did something nefarious in a small window of time. I most certainly am. The discrepancy of utmost pertinence to the case. Well, I probably spent 2 minutes or so talking to Baron Rugrel. He took a great intent of my camera. I see, but that still leaves 3 minutes remaining. I spent 2 minutes using the bathroom facilities. Falcon, do you seriously expect us to sit here and now listen to a nickel and dime Monsieur Rubino about every second? I must agree, it's quite unnecessary, Monsieur Falcon. Please stop that at once. No, it's about the... No. Let's go at the photograph. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Rubino, the photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photographic process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious, because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, Monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photograph it produces are flawless. Falcon, I do not see any mistakes. Perhaps you can be more specific. Certainly. The clock in this photograph. There's something not right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates the client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Remington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious, because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crinier has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Rogril or his housemaid if you have any doubts. Monsieur Rubino, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, Monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there's an error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, Monsieur, don't patronize us. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Rubino, edited this photograph. Edited? I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands on the clock. It would have been a simple task considering the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would you witness such a thing? Isn't it obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photographs suspect of suspicion. In other words, Monsieur Rubino created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further questions. Who is the witness protecting, and why? Was Mr. Rubino coerced, bribed, threatened? Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Rubino. Fine, you got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Greenway? What? No. I have no idea who killed the fraud. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing fraudulent photographs. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and yes, that included adding hands to the clock. You were ordered? By whom? I dare not say, Monsieur Rubino. I strongly advise you to answer the defense's questions. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. His claws, did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate, Monsieur Rubino. We cannot and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the Ashin regime, after all, but you have admitted to falsify an innocent. We cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve my failure as an artist. Good day, Monsieurs. Intriguing. So the clock's hands were painted on. So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Catalina as absent close to the time of murder. But that's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Rabbiton. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility the other parts were too. It is possible that Dame Catalina was painted out. Even worse, it's possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So what are you saying, Falcon? That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Senor Porter de Miao, perhaps? I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Senor Porter to implicate his own daughter. Why, surely you're not suggesting that the honest, beloved Baron Ragrel... one sec. Alright, well, you're not suggesting the honest and beloved Baron Ragrel deliberately tried to frame Dame Cataline, because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. You would never do such a thing. Monsieur Rabbington, I'm not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my opinion. Baron, it's not time for your witness testimony yet. So would you think, prosecutor, and yet I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. Incompetence? Indeed. Let us proceed with witness questioning. Is that fine with you, Judge? I suppose that's fine. Very good. And I trust the defense has no objection? No objections here. Fantastic. Oh, but before I forget, I pledge to speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Now, prosecutor, ask me about what I witnessed over the course of the evening. Okay, Baron Ragrel. On the night, the initial dinner went magnificently. When the photographer arrived, Monsieur Greenway left to visit the garden. Dame Cataline followed behind him moments later. Senor Porta, Monsieur Rubino, and myself were engaged in conversation, so we paid her no mind. After the photographer had left, my housemaid left to go find Monsieur Greenway and Dame Cataline. That would be when I heard her cry for help. Thank you, Baron. I think we all know the story from there. I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, garçon? I am here to uncover the truth, Baron. Very well, then hit me with your best shot. Let us establish the absolute certainty that I, Baron Ragrel, am an honest man. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Select a statement to question. Baron, we saw the murder scene, your garden, for ourselves. Baron Ragrel, when's the last time you ventured into your own garden? As it happens, I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been in my own garden for years. Years, you say? Indeed. Baron, I do not wish to call you a liar, but the claim does not hold up scrutiny. Oh? And why is that? Because we have hard evidence that you have visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold! Show the court this so-called hard evidence that I've been in my garden. This was found in your garden. To be specific, it was found inside the fountain basin. Right beside where the murder occurred. A cigar butt? That could belong to, anybody, and... Prosecutor, please shut your mouth. I can speak for myself. Okay, sorry, Baron. That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Monsieur Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. You see, prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my own garden in years. But naturally, after hearing the housemaids cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. I was shocked and disgusted by what I saw. That must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basement. You see, Falcon, that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar was casually discarded, but as it happened, the cigar butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that can only be accessed with great inconvenience. And a little paddling. The cigar butt was not dropped. It was deliberately hidden. There are any number of possible explanations. Are there? Because I can only think of one. That is, that you, Baron Rogriel, deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Did I now? And what illicit activities would those be? You want me to spell it out? Fine. Let's put everything on the table. You, Baron Rogriel, murdered Monsieur Greenway, and that is what you were trying to hide. Directly accusing me of murder? How shamelessly brazen! That is ludicrous accusation, Falcon. The Baron is an upstanding citizen of the highest order. Your allegation is baseless. You have no evidence, no means, motive, or opportunity. No evidence? Think harder, Monsieur Rabbington. Every piece of evidence points to Baron Rogriel as a prime suspect. You want the means? The Baron certainly has the means. His lion's claws are sharp as surgeon's blades. Getting a frog belly would be trivial to him. Even Monsieur Rubino confessed moments ago that he feared his claws. Ridiculous. I would never threaten a man with violence. You want a motive? The Baron had at least 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. That is preposterous. And finally, the Baron had an opportunity. No, he crafted the perfect opportunity. He arranged a small banquet with a very select few of guests. He was aware he was missing silverware, and yet he served steak, a food item that necessitates good cutlery. Why? To bloody the hands of his guests, of course. Then he hired an easily influenced photographer who staged a very specific picture in order to build a perfect alibi for himself. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make for easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. Prosecutor, are you going to let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something. Object. Oh, you're pitifully useless. After executing the murder, the Baron found himself still holding a single piece of incriminating evidence, his finished cigar. He knew that leaving at the crime scene would raise suspicion, but he didn't have time to properly dispose of it, so out of desperation he threw it into his fountain, out of sight of his guests and any snooping police. I imagine the Baron was hoping to implicate Senor Purrington de Meow, since that would ensure total control over his railway company. Alas, Dame Catalan was the first to happen upon the crime scene, so the Baron improvised. This is an outrage! Judge, I demand you disbar this ranting lunatic. No, there is only one outrage here. That is, that man like yourself is able to abuse his wealth and status to frame an innocent girl for murder. You're a bourgeoisie of the worst kind. How dare you, Garçon, the utter nerve of lying scumbag of a lawyer, to accuse a philanthropist like myself of something so heinous. I'm nothing like the fat cat bourgeois. Yeah, it is bourgeois, not bourgeoisie. I don't know, whatever. I'm a respectable, hard-working capitalist. No, you're a ruthless man who would slaughter a dear friend just to reap a few francs. You incredulous whelp! I have to gut you right here and now like a damn frog! Well? Could someone please restrain the Baron? I'm on it, Your Honor. Let's go, old man. To the concierge with you. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. I can walk myself. This is quite a turn of events. Does the prosecution have anything to add? Well, in a manner of speaking, to be honest, no. Then I shall confer with the members of the jury to come to a decision. I ask that the animals of the court please be patient at this time. Falcon, that was pretty incredible. Thank you. I just hope it was enough. What do you mean? You just proved Cataline's innocence. We'll get a non-guilty verdict for sure. Sparrowson, I think you've misunderstood something very important about the justice system. What's that? I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence and convincingly explain what it suggests. I haven't proved Dame Cataline's innocence. All I have done is demonstrate that there is a significant possibility that she is not guilty. I'm not sure that I understand the difference. We have reached a decision. In light of the recent revelation, it's clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant, Dame Cataline de Meow, to be not guilty. Ba-ba-da-da! Not guilty! Yay! Not guilty! Monsieur Falcon, Petite Sparrowson, you did it! Yeah, I suppose we did, didn't we? We should head back to the office so we can celebrate properly. You did it, Falcon! I can't take all the credit. This was a group achievement. I'm so proud of you both. I will get 1 bottle of wine and 3 of our least dirty glasses. You are amazing, Monsieur Falcon. Oh, it was nothing. I very much like the way you pinned the murder on the berry, and that was an act of sheer genius. I didn't pin anything. Sparrowson and I just worked at unveiling the truth, given the facts of the case. Monsieur Falcon, there is no need to play coy. The case is over. Play coy? Don't tell me you're actually being sincere. I'm completely lost. Oh, wow. I thought the goody-goody thing was an act, but you actually don't know. All right, I'll spell it out for you. Don't tell me she actually did it. I murdered Monsieur Greenway. What? I saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand. Business? To increase my papa's share in the train company, of course. My papa always said that the drunk old frog was the weakest link. Your confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found Baron Rogwell's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it, but I suppose that was putting too much faith in the brains of Paris' finest. But Falcon proved that the Monsieur Rubino's photograph was edited. It was edited. I wasn't in the picture because I was busy paying a visit to Monsieur Greenway in the garden. My papa knew I needed an alibi, so he ordered the Monsieur Rubino to paint me over Baron Rogrill and to add hands to the clock. But that lazy artist didn't manage to finish the altering to the photograph by trial day. It's a good thing that Monsieur Falcon was so imaginative, because that could have gone very badly. What's with the silence? You should both be proud. There aren't many lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this, even for the bourgeois kitty like me. I think you should leave. Fine. So much for the celebrations. Here's a payment for your services straight from my papa's pockets. Well, adieu, Monsieur Falcon. Adieu, Petite Sparrowson. That's a twist! Wow! Falcon, what do we do now? Falcon? That's justice. Alright guys, that was the entire Act 1 of this game, Aviary Attorney. I am absolutely in love with this game. I will probably finish this completely all. Either by myself or for you guys, who knows. But that was a pretty long Let's Play, so hopefully you managed to live through the entirety of my horrible acting skills and my accents in general. But if you did, hey, welcome to the end. I've missed you. I'm glad you stayed. So until the next video, please be kind to each other. Love one another. And I'll see you in the next one.